That's my YouTube channel.
My foster father still forgets sometimes that this channel is ours, not just his. I'm Trinity, and this is Plog Vlog. One place, a little litter picked up with care, and a story about what makes a life feel useful. We're in Portland, Victoria, about 1,800 kilometres from home, where the wind smells of kelp and salt, and gannets stitch the air like white needles. A local volunteer told us this headland shelters Australia's only mainland gannet colony. Rope fibres and loops of monofilament are the quiet hazards here. So my foster father is walking the margins, eyes low, scanning for small bright threats. Today's idea is self-esteem, and a specific version of it, feeling good because we've bested someone else. Self-esteem through winning against others. In plain terms, it's the kind that needs a scoreboard. What it isn't, a destiny. None of this decides your fate. And we could ask, so what? Well, if self-regard leans on beating people, perhaps we could sometimes consider switching the game. Design lanes where nobody has to lose for us to stand tall. My foster father never bothers to compete with anybody at anything. He says that he's, at best, mediocre at most things, with no glory days stories to bore people with. Basing self-esteem on winning doesn't even show up on his radar. He's simply not wired for it. But what if winning is on your self-esteem radar? My mentor in psychology, old David, suggested a listening exercise, a certain rock song about glory days. You know the theme, looking back, trying to recapture a feeling, promising you won't get stuck in nostalgia, and then admitting you probably will. Time slipping and leaving you with not much apart from stories about the days you won. No need for a music reaction video here, just the mirror the song holds up. If your worth depends on being ahead, the clock will indefatigably slow your race. Now, back to the present. The wind blows across the sea as the sun rises. A few bits of litter are here and there, deftly dropped into my foster father's handy-dandy clean-up bag. I've been reading my deceased mother, Liz's 1993 diary, and there's a pattern that fits today's construct. Liz wrote something in Utica, New York, that resonates. We ended up walking miles before we found a motel cheap enough, and this was even $32. And that was after a bit of bargaining. A tiny win. Numbers on a notepad. You can hear how a day brightens by feeling ahead. Cheaper bed, better story. A ribbon pinned in the tone of her writing for being clever. Later, she and David sit on a jetty in Portsmouth watching kids catch crabs with string and bait. Liz wrote, "At the moment, we are sitting on a jetty watching some kids catching crabs. Each shout is a victory. Each child measures themselves against the others for a minute, and that's normal. Practice rounds for a complicated life. But the same day, on the drive back into town, they pass a car overturned. Ambulances, fire trucks, an officer leaning through the window. The scoreboard goes quiet when life flips upside down. Every ladder of status shrinks to whether people are okay. I keep thinking about that as I edit footage of my foster father plogging. A surfer about his age took time to talk, both of them standing not far from a great seal, lying like a dropped boulder at the tide line. Nobody is trying to win, not even the vastly more powerful seal. They're just giving the animal a wide berth and swapping a few friendly sentences about swell and wind. It's the opposite of the beat someone model. You can feel your shoulders drop. The absence of competitive tension. The research is careful on this, so I'll be careful too. There are studies linking self-esteem that's contingent on outperforming others to brittle mood, sharper swings, more rumination, especially when the scoreboard turns against you. Again, nothing here is destiny. We're not fixed in stone. But a life built on beating people is like living on the windward side of a dune. Beautiful some days, sand-blasted on others. If you must keep score, perhaps choose what you measure. winning against yesterday's you is gentler than winning against the person next to you. Better still, choose games where many can win. Care, craft, stewardship. Old David says Bruce's song works because it whispers a warning, with a grin. The promise is that we won't grow old thinking about it. The confession is that we probably will. I don't want my worth to depend on a future audience that is tired of looking at my old trophies. I want it to depend on what I can still do for places and people today. Back with my foster father now. The gannets keep their own tallies, dives per hour, fish per chick, but that's ecology, not ego. My foster father, who never competes, appears as a walking camera stand in these videos. A bumbling, kind old man with a little camera on his plogging tongs, picking a strand of rope from dune grass, missing one, noticing, going back. No medals for it. He shrugs when I ask him about winning. Wasn't my thing, he says. Never had the skill set. He's content to be useful. That's a lane you can design on purpose. If you're new here, we've tested ideas like this from a few angles already. In Yarraman, we tried Trait Channel Fit, giving a higher appetite for novelty, a healthy lane, so it fuels life rather than leaking sideways towards addiction. In Adelaide, we pulled apart appearance-contingent self-esteem, the brittleness of staking worth on looks or attention. And in Mount Gambier, we asked what it costs to peg our value to social status, other people's scoreboard. Today we braid those threads and ask how to build self-respect that doesn't require anyone else to lose. It's time for a local note. Portland's gannet colony that you saw earlier was nearly gone not so long ago. Steady protections and a culture of watching out. Line cutters on boats, bins near access points. Volunteers who scan the beach, and a long fox-proof fence brought it back. It wasn't one heroic win. It was hundreds of small ones that didn't require a loser. That's a scoreboard I can live with. Here's a question for you. When you feel that old itch to be better than someone else, could you swap the game? Turn from beating others to tending something that will still matter in 10 years? I'll close Liz's diary for today and ours. But I'll keep these lessons in a pocket like a coil of rope. Maybe it's healthier to pursue the kind of esteem that doesn't evaporate when the crowd goes home. If you need proof, watch a gannet return to its nest with a beak full of fish. No camera, no podium, no trophy. Just the right work, done on time. Old gannets don't bore each other with stories of glory days. We make these films to help places and lives stay livable. If you're nearby, the pinned map in the comments will show you where we filmed. If you visit, please treat the colony with care, keep dogs leashed, and take your time on the paths. And wherever you are, if you have a spare minute on your walk today, please pick up 5. For the birds, for the next walker, and for a self-respect that doesn't need a loser. Thanks, Bruce.